What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Arizona Cardinals Madden 19 Rebuild Series. I don't know what we're doing today exactly, but we're going to figure it out. We have 4 games to go this year, and the Cardinals are 6-6. We could end up a 10-6 playoff team, a 6-10 top 10 selecting team. I do plan to watch a game today, but I don't know exactly which one. If we beat the Rams, I want to watch the Seahawks game. If we lose to the Rams, I'm probably just going to watch the Week 17 game and see a final look at this team to get some kind of final thoughts for this year and what to do moving forward. So let's begin. Oh, wow. An A-spec catch? Anytime there's an A trait, that catches my attention. B+ short route running, B catching, A.J. Burkhead. That's an impressive top 3, and that's not a second round skill set whatsoever. We have a couple upgrades to begin the episode with, starting with running back Jason Lemon, who I'll try to get a bit more work the end of the year. Obviously, we want Lemon to be the superstar player. He hasn't been that to this point. He's the number 25 ranked halfback, though, so there's definitely a lot of potential here. We're going to work on his elusive back trait today. He's now an 86, and that's going to give him a boost to his moves, how he makes defenders miss. +1 speed here for A.J. Vlachos. Always interesting to see what kind of physical traits go up with the archetype system. Seeing as how we're all over the place to begin the episode, let's just go to contracts. And I kind of think I've changed my mind a little bit on O.J. Howard. I'd like to have him on the team, but now I'm leaning more towards seeing what free agency brings. I know we're going to have some cap space, and maybe there's somebody out there that we can dump a bunch of money for. But O.J. Howard, like, what would he get on the open market as a 29? I'm not sure if he'll be 30 when the offseason rolls around, but it's very possible that he'll be closer to an 81 overall. And while he is very good, I mean, if we're not going to finish the year strong, then let's just start over at a lot of spots. Definitely not a flashy move, but one that I think is good. This is Alexander Barton, our backup center. I wouldn't mind having him as just kind of a utility backup offensive lineman. He does have some good run blocking and pass blocking. He just struggles against finesse rushers. And overall, I think that with the injuries we've had on the offensive line, it shows how important depth is. So I'm not going to overlook it here. And he doesn't even like that? That's a fair deal to be a 6th offensive lineman, essentially. Alright, speaking of backup offensive linemen, let's try A.J. Vlachos, who just upgraded, and he does sign a 2-year extension. There we go. And by the way, for anybody wondering about Lester Phelps and his ratings, he is ranked a 25 overall, the 25th overall quarterback. And I think that those are the quarterbacks that can get a franchise into a lot of trouble. The Ryan Tannehills of the world, the players that you think can take that next step, that if they're maxed out, it's not good enough, but you're waiting for that next step that ultimately never happens. I feel with those quarterbacks, you play the rookie deal, and then you probably go in another direction. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now with Phelps. I don't think it's likely we'll keep Nick Chubb. He's about to enter, 29-year-old regression land, so I'm probably going to look into the draft to find someone else. I might be drafting a running back this year, so that's something to look forward to. But now let's see what happens here when the Cardinals meet the LA Rams. Well, it was kind of better than our first game against the Rams. That was a 31-13 loss. Now it's 29-12, and we only had 323 yards of offense. Actually limited their offense a decent bit. Jared Goff still had 3 touchdowns. Phelps was sacked 4 times behind a hurt offensive line. Todd Gurley, 102. Jason Lemon does get 50 yards on 12 carries. Chubb did not get much work. It appears that we didn't do a good job of handling time of possession in this game. Parker Tate gets 75 yards on 7 catches. At least I think he'll have a chance to upgrade a decent bit. I'll have to see if he's close to any milestones or anything that'll reward him. But looking at the Rams defense, we get sacked by Donald, Henry, Lucky, Walters. Just a bad game for a bad team. Alright, so even though he doesn't fit, we'll just put Jason Lemon here in the power halfback spot just so he gets a little more work, hopefully a few more carries, and maybe it'll do him some good. And he's an 86 overall, so sometimes It seems that there's a tipping point with these players where you upgrade them to a certain point and then they begin to take off. Let's hope 86 is that for Jason Lemon. I really haven't scouted the quarterbacks yet. I mean, I had time, but it's like, let's learn. Look at this throw power. A+ and A+. Okay, strong arm. They're not lying about that part. Let's go round 2. All right, give Shepard the edge there. Some good short accuracies. And then B- throw accuracy short. Not as sold here on Hanson Hannum. Alan Shepard, I am a lot more sold on. Wesley Kunalik? Not sure exactly if I'm saying that correctly. And second round might be right. Late first might still be fair. The accuracies are just fine. J.W. Unger. I like that set of skills. He's a field general. And then Hunter Hogue. We have good medium accuracy and elite short accuracy. So you gotta like that skill set. And Philip Adkins. When you're considering moving on from your current quarterback, it's a lot easier when a class like this shows up. Aaron Howell. I think next year he'll be the cornerback #1. Star development. Very good in zone. Would like to get that man cover up as well. Really good at tackling too. He really doesn't have a weakness here that pops off the screen. Press is fine. I mean, jumping isn't really that important in Madden. I haven't seen it be that way. So, really outstanding player. Hope he can get some awareness boost just because that's always helpful. And I'll go with zone just because I want to build up a little lead there in the archetype race. And we get that awareness bump, so that's cool. That's 3 straight losses here for the Cardinals and scoring under 20 in each game. We had Phelps get picked off twice. Russell Wilson, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, only sacked 1 time. And it looks like Garrett Baronis had a fake field goal touchdown or something in there. So congratulations to him. Jason Lemon, meanwhile, 71 yards on 17 carries. And receiving-wise, Isaac White does well. O.J. Howard says maybe think twice about not sending that contract offer. And Parker Tate finds the end zone again. Anything there for Lemon? Just 11 yards. I'll have to check his overall receiving stats when all is said and done here. Parker Wood, 14 tackles and a sack. I have to make a decision on if I want to keep him. He's 26. He does his job pretty well. Maybe I should just keep him around. Howard Iwabima, he is up next. Not sure he's putting up the numbers that would put him in the Defensive Rookie of the Year race. Let's find out though. 4.5 sacks, 9 TFL, 40 tackles. This is solid. I think this is solid year 1 production. Well, it's all right. It's good. Hopefully year 2 has a larger jump because, I mean, he's not a run stopper. He is a pass rusher, so we're hoping that he's close to double digits on a year-to-year basis. And I think with him, I'll work on the pass rush stuff first, but eventually I will come back around to the run stopping. I know there's always a lot of talk in the comment section about if I'm making a player, you know, worse by trying to go well-rounded, but to me, there comes a point where ratings are so low they're deal breakers. And when I looked at like Lester Phelps' accuracies, for instance, I felt like I'm not going to like him as a long-term quarterback if his short and medium accuracies are as low as they are. I know the way Madden's going to play, and if you had a quarterback who's really just good at stretching the field and more scattershot on the shorter stuff, you know, it's hard to make the game just account for those weaknesses. You're still going to have short throws. You got to have good short throw accuracy, or you're not going to be a good Madden quarterback, especially in a series like this where I'm not in control of Lester Phelps. So with Howard Iwabima, finesse moves is the way to go, and we'll make that the archetype choice today. A lot of upgrades coming here. We got block shed +5, power moves +5. So even though we go speed rusher here, a lot of other stuff goes up. That's the part that still gets me, is when you go into an archetype and other stuff is like, it's like they're compensating for how low it is. But block shed and power moves to go up 5, like that's a ridiculous boost right there. And that changes like his entire outlook as a player, going from 68 block shed to 73. We're in striking distance of it being close to a strength. This is really good here. And then our young center, Devin Brasile, gets an upgrade. He's currently 23 years old, and he has a well-rounded skill set here. You just got to decide which direction you want things to go. already the 15th ranked center. And I think you do see that from time to time. There are centers that are taken in like the second, third round, and they're already, you know, ready to start, and no worse than average. So that's what Brasile is here, although I took him a bit earlier. Ultimately, that scheme fit is always attractive, and we're going to go that route today and get a little strength upgrade there too, which was already like really good for Brasile. And I believe strength is most important in the running game over the passing game. I believe that's the way the game works. So I would like to take him in the run direction route, but I just don't think that with the archetype system it's easy to target. Okay, back to the quarterbacks now. Let's finish scouting them. Dustin Tyler. No, that's not going to do it. BJ Pruitt. Scrambler. Don't know any accuracies. Can't make that happen. Michael Peck. Definitely developmental at the worst. Although I'm guessing he has really bad deep accuracy, and that kind of makes it tough to make him a starting caliber quarterback. But that's all just projecting out. I just like seeing what all there is here. Let's go with the late round guys that may be developable. Not sure if that's a word, but all words were not words at one point, if you think about it. If you think it's been a bad year for us, we haven't been watching the San Francisco 49ers close enough, because I believe they have one win on the season. And we just beat them by 21 after losing 3 straight and scoring like under 60 points combined in those games. Lester Phelps, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. We picked off Garoppolo 2 times. 85 yards here for Jason Lemon. 2 broken tackles, a long of 8. Please say the simming in Madden 20 is so much better. What's the simming like in Head Coach? I keep wondering about that game lately. Let's go to the Cardinals receiving. 3 touchdowns for Isaac White, only 55 yards. Pretty surprising stat line from him. Not mad at it, however. Good year for White. 2 sacks for Bosa, 2 picks for Patrick Peterson. Are those his last 2 interceptions as an Arizona Cardinal? Could be. Oh man, it said we had a weekly award. I assumed it was Isaac White, but no, it's Pat Pete with 2 pick sixes. Both were touchdowns. That's how he had the huge win. All right then. 6 touchdowns for Jared Goff. Okay. Blake Bortles had 4. Really interesting stat lines here for players of the week. An injury for Parker Wood is going to end his season, so he is done for the year, but is he done as a Cardinal? And ahead of our final game, I have more upgrading to do. Jason Lemon's going up to an 87 today. 22 years old, still, I think he can reach that potential. We're going to keep going elusive. That's obviously his calling card. Like, when I was giving him his other upgrades, like, this is the point where I wanted them to be. I just wanted them to be, like, solid enough to rely upon in certain cases. But obviously, I probably could have been better off with the elusive first. I just thought that the elusiveness for him was already high enough to carry him. But clearly it wasn't. Deshaunte Nolan, the franchise left tackle. He is good against pass block power rushers, but everything else needs some work. And, oh no, he's really good just pass blocking in general. So, run blocking, would like to target that, but unfortunately, no way. So let's go with power today, hope for some run blocking help. Awareness is always nice, a little run block power in there as well. He'll always be a pass protecting specialist though, and I think he'll be really good for a long time. He's the number 6 left tackle. He's a franchise player. And continuing here with the offensive lineman, Jared Strojny, your number 11 ranked left guard in the NFL at 80 overall. We're going to go agile with him, try to make him a scheme fit, 81 overall now, and some finesse upgrades there. But if you notice his XP bar now that he's 27, it's no longer as friendly, so he's not going to get a whole lot better, maybe 83, 84 at max. And Titus Green, I think with him I will go the power route. That's his weakness. Green's always going to be nice to at least have as a backup, so he's the kind of player I'd like to keep on this team for quite some time, and maybe even one day he's a starter, but he's a great backup at worst. And with that, we are now at a 7-8 regular season record. I do want to watch some of Week 17 to get some final thoughts on the season, some last impressions for the players before decisions are made about where to go after 2 losing campaigns. No need for an intro. We have ourselves a game between a team with 7 wins and a team with 3. We're just ending the season today. Jets have it. Ricky Seals-Jones here with a little revenge game opportunity, it appears. And Sam Darnold on first down, finding his man downfield as the Jets open with a 20-yard hit. So we just want to see who can make an impression in this game. Anybody that we're wondering about, as that's a good floater out of Darnold. It appears, though, that while he has still been the Jets quarterback for a while, it hasn't been enough to turn this team around. Here's a 3rd and inches, and Darnold finds his running back out of the backfield. First down. Darnold fakes the quick screen, fires out to the right side, got him in stride. Robbie Anderson with the touchdown. All right, I got to work on this defense a bit, it would appear. Touchdown, Jets. So what can the Cardinals do here in their final home game of the season? Here's Lester Phelps opening the day with a missed throw, and that's why short accuracy is a deal breaker for me when it's that low. It just doesn't work out here in Madden. Now you could say, wait a minute, it does work out. Lester Phelps brought you to a Super Bowl. Yes, although that was a very weird way of making it to the Super Bowl that we had. 2nd and 10, Phelps over the middle. That's a good throw on point. Isaac White. What kind of numbers we have this year? 990 yards. So just get him to 1,000. I'm guessing there's a goal attached to that. I should take a deeper look at the goals. Lemon sent in motion here. We got some option, and this is Phelps keeping, and he's going to maintain balance and have a first down. It's not going to count. All that time to build this playbook, and this is how you reward me. Oh, come on, Titus Green, we can't have that. And Nick Chubb gets hurt. What a horrible play. Of course, if we have a new quarterback next year and he isn't very mobile, I'll have to take away some of those options out of the playbook, which is no big deal. But I'm glad that I gave it a shot here, building it for Lester Phelps. But man, week 1 was kind of a sign of things to come, I felt. So we have a couple infractions, a deep touchdown allowed. The fans are right to be booing here. Phelps over the middle. This is complete to Parker Tate. I'm really hoping that in the offseason there's a chance to sign somebody that is really, really good, like a high-level linebacker. I think I prefer somebody defensively. I can figure things out, I think, from here on the offensive side as White makes the catch. Here's Phelps to the air on 2nd down. He's going to send this way downfield. Touchdown! How about that? Martavis Caldwell, 46 yards. I've been waiting for that all season. That separation was awesome. The corner was close to 10 yards off of Martavis Caldwell. And here's the foot race. There's no comparison between the speeds of these players. That's why I had to get Martavis Caldwell on the team. Good to see him finally be used as a deep threat. I'll watch the first 2 drives of each team today. I just want to see if the Jets somehow do that again to our defense. I don't think they will. But on first down, they will run it up the middle and get a few. Here's a fake from Darnold. He throws it over the middle and hooks up with, is that Ricky Seals-Jones? I believe it is. That one hurts a bit extra. All right, defense, get off the field now. Jets need 5. Darnold protected perfectly. He fires downfield, and that is a catch. How? Hey, we're going to challenge it, though. Why not? It's upheld. We lost the challenge. That's one thing that has gotten better. I remember back when every challenge was like an overturn, and that's the only reason the CPU would call a challenge. But now if it's close, sometimes they just lose them. And that's going to be incomplete at last, the first time for Darnold. 3rd and 9 again for the Jets, and Darnold with a conversion and a score. Ricky Seals-Jones. Oh, man. This defense needs so much help. What do you think the approach on defense ought to be? I think we have some good developmental corners. We have some good young players on the defensive line. We have a young free safety, a great strong safety. Like, it seems like we should be playing a lot better. One spot I think we could address is maybe another linebacker that can eventually replace Jalen Smith and, I don't know. Parker Wood covers pretty well, so it's not just like getting a coverage backer. Maybe it's just developing these corners more. But we're struggling there. Here's Phelps with a laser downfield. What a grab by White. Oh, we almost got him off sides there. Phelps on second down. Settles underneath. Short gain. Very pass heavy to open the game. Third down for Phelps. We have Lemon in the flats. And that's intercepted. The route was jumped. Desmond King with the INT. All right, let's do some simulating now and finish off this first quarter. Jamon Pryor sacks Sam Darnold. Really hopeful that Pryor can continue to develop into a regular player for us. Nice job there, 21 yards to White. 10-yard penalty on Brasil, then a drop, and the drive stalls. Picking it up with the Jets again. Martinez Ballard gets them a first down. Then it's Keelan Cole. They get into scoring range. And on third down, have to kick the field goal. Or on fourth down, they do. You know what I mean. 17-7. We may have something going here on this drive. Close to the end of the first half. And we have to kick a long field goal, 17-10. We'll rejoin the offense once again here in the second half. It's 20-10. As we have not played great defense, and for some reason we're not running the ball at all with Jason Lemon, but we'll throw it to him for a loss. Phelps on second down. That's a good throw, and good job keeping balance. Howard. Good third down call. I like it. Fake it to Lemon. Throw it to him. First down. From the pistol, here's a keeper by Phelps. To his left, what a hit! Thankfully, Phelps is all right after that. That was Jamal Adams who delivered the hit, by the way. I'm sure he has really high hit power. At the 49, just run it with Lemon. I want to see him play more. Try a spin. Could be sending the safety here at Phelps. It's a handoff instead. Oh, Cadron Sharp had a good plan of bouncing this outside and picks up 8, showing off a little power. That's a fake. Phelps downfield with it for Isaac White, 15 yards. And that puts him over 1,000 on the year, or a catch earlier must have. That's great to see. Isaac White, the original first-round pick here in the series, having a good career. Now it's Lemon trying to bounce with no luck. 3rd and 12 for Lester Phelps, climbing and finding a lot of trouble from all angles. He's sacked. I'm not sure if you can give Leonard Williams half a sack there. That looked to be a 3rd sack to me. Although I'm on team half sacks should not exist. I want to know on how many plays did a player sack the opposing quarterback. And if you get 2 half sacks, the stat becomes a lie. The offenses have kind of slowed down here in the 3rd quarter as the Jets punt now for the 2nd time in the 3rd. Cardinals take over and we go to the final quarter of the season, picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Jets have a chance to build this lead and improve our draft positioning perhaps. Jets marching down the field again. We're just struggling today. This is a 3-win team about to be 4. Making it 33-13. And the starters have been pulled. I don't need any Achilles tears for anybody going into next season. So Garrett Barones will get to finish up the game here. And he's going to start with a throw outside the numbers. And it's a good one for Tate. Barones on first down. Actually, good protection here from a lot of the backups. And this ball is right on the money, and it's hauled in. And that's our third tight end, Emmanuel Hardy. That's what I want to see. Hardy was a player that I added to this roster before the season began as a third tight end. Who knows if we'll see him moving forward. Here's Baronis on second down with a quick check down. I would love to call that play and just do that like 6 times a game. Here's Baronis on third down, and that ball is incomplete for Caldwell. That's not a situation where he's going to thrive. Weak wing. Love this formation. What's the call here? Motion from the fullback. And it's going to be a run. Lemon drop for a loss. Jets take over. And that's the season, everybody. A 7-9 campaign. 2 straight disappointing years. And the year prior was the 7-9 Super Bowl winning season. So we haven't had double-digit wins in quite some time, or really a regular season that you could be proud of. We've got to fix that going forward. The final game stats on the year look like this. Great game for Sam Darnold. Lester Phelps, very inconsistent on the ground, hardly tried. And Ricky Seals-Jones had a good revenge game. And Isaac White made a couple plays. My highlight, though, was definitely from Martavis Caldwell. Oh, wow. Isaiah Wynn actually had a season-ending injury in that game. I didn't even notice that. A compound foot fracture. So he's going to heal up over the offseason, thankfully. But that's it for the year. Let's sim now to Wild Card Weekend and finish things up. So we have some final upgrades, it appears. We'll check the yearly awards first. And the NFL MVP, Deshaun Watson for the Texans. Coach of the Year, Bill O'Brien. And for us here in the NFC, Ezekiel Elliott, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive was Quan Alexander. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alexander Anderson. Martavis Caldwell actually came in 5th place, which is a lot higher than I expected. Defensive, Stephon Sutton. Oh yeah, I remember I tried trading for him, and then I realized he was a rookie, and I really couldn't. Antrell Massey came in 7th, Iwabima in 10th. Best quarterback is Jared Goff. Running back is Ezekiel Elliott. Best receiver is Julio Jones, although Isaac White up there as well. Offensive lineman, that would be Curtis Goldsberry. And Joey Bosa for defensive lineman. Jalen Graham was number 6, by the way. Best linebacker, Quan Alexander. DB, Jarrell Leach. Buda Baker in 3rd. Kicker, Brandon McManus. And for the AFC, just want to see if anything really stands out here. Oh, Martinez Ballard, Rookie of the Year. I didn't even realize that we were watching one of the best players from last year's class today. Matt McCarthy defensively. Best quarterback, Deshaun Watson. We don't see Rosen until number 9. Running back, Leonard Fournette, DeAndre Hopkins, and Will Fuller are both 1 and 2. Quentin Nelson, of course. Francis Nichols for the Raiders at 84 overall. Jadeveon Clowney. Marvin Blackstock. They have so many good players, it appears, for the Texans now. All right, so final upgrades. Ooh, just Jalen Graham. I was hoping for a few more names to pop up, but Graham is one that I'm happy to upgrade. And I think just focusing on his power moves is the way to go. That's going to be the skill he can lean on throughout his career. So Graham with the boost. And power moves +1, strength +1. So here are the final stats. We had the 17th ranked offense and the 12th ranked defense. So it's not like the defense was awful. They just were really bad in some games. 25th though in points scored and 16th in points allowed. Let's take a look at our stats, as Lester Phelps had 23 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. And if we look at his yearly stats now with the Cardinals, where he's been a starter for 3 seasons, lowest touchdown total, lowest quarterback rating. It was his lowest completion percentage, lowest yards per attempt. All right, not exactly a great year for Phelps. We are very likely to move into a new direction then going into 2025. On the ground, Jason Lemon managed to play 16 games and only rushed for 1 touchdown. That seems rather impossible to do. He had 1 rushing touchdown after 7 as a rookie. The yard per carry did go up. However, I don't really see any improvements in the stats from first year to second. 2 receiving touchdowns, definitely not near his potential yet, and we've got to work on getting him there. Nick Chubb, 3.5 a carry, and a few more rushing touchdowns. Not sure how O.J. Howard got one, but congrats. Receiving, Isaac White, 1,066 yards and 10 touchdowns. Here's 1 star in this season. White had his new career high in both touchdowns, yards per reception, and yards. O.J. Howard had a productive season as well. It was good to see Parker Tate get his chance this year and do a lot with it. Although, have I waited too long to turn him into a great receiver? We'll see, but these stats are certainly awesome. Martavis Caldwell had a little bit of production here as a rookie. He has normal development, so he will develop pretty slowly, but that deep touchdown was fun to watch. We'll see what else he can do moving forward with his career. And a few more touchdowns here going down the list. Let's go to the offensive side. Most sacks allowed, that was Isaiah Wynn. Titus Green had a lot less. Devin Brazil had a lot less. Maybe it was a down year for Wynn. I mean, if you allow that many sacks and that many snaps. Although the sack rate would be pretty high for Deshaunte Nolan at the same time. On defense, Jalen Smith had an interception, 109 tackles. Unfortunately, it does seem like his best years are likely behind him, and he hasn't put up the flashy numbers in a while. The tackles have gone down significantly, the sacks are down, and we're just not seeing Smith have the same impact. But he's certainly been one of the highlights of this series. Denard Huval, no interceptions. Budda Baker had 4. Aaron Howell had 2. He's still only 24 years old, 85 overall, and has played 3 years and has 7 career picks. Massey and Wood had very similar stat lines. Graham had 9.5 sacks. Bosa led the team with 12.5. Iwabima with 5.5. Pat Pete, 4 interceptions. I do wonder if he retires after this year. I think that is very possible. I'm not sure if he'll be on the team next year if he doesn't retire. We were very good at kicker, though. Randy Bullock missed 3 kicks all season. And Mason McConnell. I think the numbers are all right here. And now the league-wide stats. Bryson Anthony, most yards. Vikings second-year quarterback Paul Durr had 37 touchdowns. Behind Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff. Really good season for him. Ezekiel Elliott close to the 2,000-yard club. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins had a monster season. Julio Jones there behind him. Who's a better pair, Hopkins and Fuller or Jones and Ridley? Although, where's Fuller? There he is, 12 touchdowns on the season. As far as defense goes, I think still they don't include certain players here for some reason. Like you don't see Joey Bosa, do you? I sure don't. Francis Nichols, he had the most sacks in the NFL and I believe was Defensive Player of the Year. And interceptions, Marvin Blackstock had 6, Darrell Leach, AJ Boye each come in with 5. All in all, we finished 3rd place in our division with a 7-9 record. And in the NFL draft, it looks like we'll be selecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Somewhere between 10 and a lot higher or a lot lower in the first round. So I don't know how they're going to break this tie. I just hope that we're in position to hopefully get ourselves a quarterback. But then we have to watch San Francisco at number 1 and what they're going to do. So they're going to get an impact player most likely, and they're not going to want a quarterback. So it could be a dominant edge or something else. And in the playoffs, the Browns beat the Dolphins handedly. The Giants beat Minnesota. The Vikings can make it to the playoffs in this thing. In franchise, they're always awful, but apparently Paul Durr got them to the postseason where they were blown out. So a standard Viking playoff appearance, you could say. Colts over the Chiefs, and Philadelphia over New Orleans. Divisional round. Wow, Houston beat 21-10 by Baker and the Browns. I did not expect to see that. I thought the Texans would go and maybe win the Super Bowl. Nothing here for Deshaun Watson. And Darius Geis, 113. Marquand Thornton, big day. Wow, that's a stunner. Dallas beats New York handedly. Mike Phillips and the Cowboys have been really good in this series. And Cincinnati is able to beat the Colts. And remember, they're quarterbacked by Blake Bortles, who didn't have an amazing playoff game, but certainly a good one. And last, the Rams all over Philadelphia. In the conference championships, are you kidding me? 35-0? How do the Browns destroy the Texans and then have the inverse happen? Cincinnati's going to the Super Bowl. 4 touchdowns from Blake Bortles. Please win MVP, Blake. Mike Williams, 49 yards. How on earth did they make that happen? A couple interceptions here. TJ Olsen, very good safety. And then a closer game. Rams beat the Cowboys to send themselves to the Super Bowl to meet the Bengals. 4 touchdowns for Jared Goff. A lot of rushing yards here for Ezekiel Elliott in the losing effort. Big day for Gerald Everett, Brandon Cooks, Woods, Kupp. They spread the football around. And the Pro Bowl roster is out. Goff, Watson, Wilson, Bortles, Durr, and Cody are your quarterbacks. And how about anybody from the Arizona Cardinals? Did maybe Isaac White? Nope, could not make it to wide receiver 6. No at tight end. No along the offensive line, it appears. Bosa made it, and so did Jalen Graham. So our starting edge rushers are in. And I wonder if that is it. No one at corner. Buda Baker does make it, so just a few for us this year. There's one player here I had on my scouting board, by the way. I didn't finish scouting that I really wanted to today. I'm not sure if it was Jason Octavian, but I'll finish scouting him. Very good scheme fit for us if we want to go corner in the 5th round, which I'm not opposed to that. Joey McCleskey, that's who it was. Good zone coverage here, good pursuit, decent hit power. You know, I don't know if I want to replace Parker Wood, but that is a spot on the team where the overall is a little lower. But I'll have to figure out how to finally change things this year because I don't want to see another season like this. In blowout fashion, the Rams beat the Cincinnati Bengals for the Super Bowl. Goff throws 3 touchdowns, and Bortles was picked off twice and sacked 4 times. Todd Gurley did not have a very good Super Bowl, but it was the passing game leading the way for the Rams. Or maybe more so it was their defense. 4 sacks for 4 players. Interceptions by Jordan Hicks. Maybe he'd be Super Bowl MVP, especially if one was a touchdown. That's not the case. So there you have it. The Rams are champs again going into the next year of the series. And that means next episode is going to be the offseason. So what do we do? How do we make this team better? Here's a look at where things are right now. I think we could definitely use another interior offensive lineman. I would obviously like to look at drafting another quarterback and finding the right one for this team. I think receiver is something we can address, although there is no first-round prospect. And defensively, I think that maybe we could go and draft a linebacker. I think that defensive tackle's on the table. Free safety, if there's the right player. I'm not sure if there is. Maybe a corner. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section, and next time I'll see if we can start getting this thing on the right track again. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video and are enjoying the series. We are now 50 episodes in. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you with more Cardinals rebuild soon. Have a great day.